okay. And as always, just make sure that your starting point of being is as good as it gets. So there might be some discomfort in the body. And we are smiling into the body, acknowledging that we bring friendliness to the body. And that can help us to stay with that what is difficult with more ease. And sometimes it also helps us to remind of that what is going well. So that now we are engaging in a practice which is called Everyday Simple Yoga. And I know it from a Vini yoga teacher. So if it is possible for you, at times you might want to keep your eyes open for a moment, otherwise they will be closed. And there is this reminder that where our eyes go, a lot of energy goes, but equally what we are looking at, what we are engaging with, also is given importance. And by closing our eyes, we're giving importance to this, what the Buddha speaks in the Dhammapada, love thyself and be aware. In the body, your breath is moving. There is a sensation of an inner flow. When you're breathing in, you can have a sensation of an inner flow from the feet through the legs, from the hands through the arms, through the whole body, up to the crown. And when you're breathing out, there can be a sensation of an inner flow from the crown, through the space that is in the body, through the legs down to your toes. And for a moment, allowing yourself to breathe very comfortably in and out, and feeling that wave-like movement happening in that space that is in your body. Your inner breath has with it a subtle sensation of touch that would be equal that when you open a window, you would have a subtle sense of breeze on your outer skin. So when you're breathing in, you could feel a subtle sensation of touch that flows from the toes through the space in your body up to the crown, touching each part and each cell that is in your body. And when you're breathing out, you can breathe out with this feeling that there is this inner flow and with it a subtle sensation of a touch. With the inhalation, that subtle sensation of touch can bring an activation to each part and each cell that is in your body. And with your exhalation, you can have that subtle sensation of a touch, and it is releasing the tensions that are in the body. For a moment, allow yourself to breathe like this. And the inhalation has ended, and before the exhalation begins, there can be the experience of a pause. And when the exhalation has ended, and before the inhalation begins, there can be a pause. So the mind in silence is experiencing the breath that is moving in the space, in the silence. And the mind in silence is also experiencing the silence in the pause. bring your awareness to your legs. And with your next exhalation, let your legs come together towards the paralyzed stance, or they might touch each other. Watch your breathing. Now feel your spine, and starting from the lower tip of your spine, vertebra by vertebra, moving your spine to the ground to bring in a feeling of activity into the entire spine. Helping your neck to lengthen, you can gently tuck the chin in slightly. Your arms are by the sides of your body, with your palms either facing up or down. Watch your breathing. Now bring your awareness to your right leg. With your next exhalation, lift your right leg a little. With your inhalation, stretch the toes forward. With your exhalation, bending your right leg, placing the right foot on the floor, close to your buttocks. Watch your breathing. Now for your left leg. With your exhalation, lifting your left leg a little. With your inhalation, stretching the toes, front part of the left foot forward. Now with your exhalation, bending your left leg, placing the left foot on the floor. Watch your breathing. Now feel your spine. With your next exhalation, gently draw the stomach muscles down to the spine behind the navel, and that helps your lower back to move more into the ground. At the end of the exhalation, feel the pause. When you're breathing in, relax the abdominals a little, but see if the lower back can stay in the slightly flattened position. It's not forced into the ground, but it might have released some of its holding. Now bring your awareness to your pelvis. And when you're breathing out, engage into the pelvic tilt, the Beckenkippe, and you're rolling the pelvis backwards towards the ground, and therefore you can feel now the flattening that comes into your lower back. It's also called the imprinting of your spine. And when you're breathing in, you release that activity. Really let your belly move out, not to push it out, and feel the pelvis rolling forwards. The pubis moves away from you. Do this a few times as a very rolling action, noticing how your abdominals help you to roll into that imprint of the spine, and then let the belly release as the pelvis rolls the opposite direction. Begin to let any holding that might be in your spine or neck, just by noticing if there is a holding, this pattern can relax, so that you might notice how this movement brings movement towards your rib cage, the neck, and therefore you might notice your chin moving a little bit. And making this one your last, allowing your pelvis to find that neutral position, neither arched nor flat. For your arms, turn your palms to face down. Gently stretch your fingers, and then gently stretch your arms. With your next inhalation, stretch your arms and begin to lift them towards the ceiling, and then as good as you can behind you. And notice how it opens your rib cage, how you open at the front of your rib cage. You're creating a subtle arch. And when you're breathing out, lift your arms up to the ceiling and bring them forwards and down. Repeat this a few times and notice how when you lift your arms up and when they start to go behind you, how they bring a movement into your ribcage. You might notice how the front of your ribcage, how the ribs open. And when you're breathing out, when your arms come slowly forwards and down, how it relaxes the base of the ribcage down. So moving your arms can bring this movement where we begin to free up the ribcage. Notice that movement of your arms through that space that surrounds you. And then with your next inhalation, if it is comfortable for you, keep your arms behind you. If that is not comfortable, you have the option to separate your arms a little bit more, or you can bend your elbows more. If you still feel that is uncomfortable for the neck, shoulders, or upper back, then you begin to draw the elbows further down till there is no tension feeling in the neck, shoulders, or upper back. Watch your breathing. Now feel your feet. Firmly place your feet on the floor and see if they can sit with their heels under your knees. Now bring your awareness to your pelvis, to the rhythm of your exhalation. Feel your breathing out slowly. Now when you're breathing out, you might bring back that pelvic tilt. And then when you're breathing in, you slowly can continue this journey by lifting the buttocks, the lower back, and vertebra by vertebra you're lifting your spine. When you're breathing out, see if there's a stretch feeling in your arms, and you lower vertebra by vertebra your spine. Breathing in, your pelvis can roll to neutral. Breathing out, you can draw into the pelvic tilt. Breathing in, you slowly lift your buttocks, lower back, vertebra by vertebra, you lift your spine. When you're breathing out, you can have that bit of a stretch feeling in your arms and try to move down your spine, vertebra by vertebra. Breathing in, you return to neutral. Breathing out, the pelvic tilt. Breathing in slowly, vertebra by vertebra, coming up. Breathing out, stretching your arms more slowly, wheeling the spine down. Try to bring the lower back down first, then the buttocks. And breathing in to neutral. Stay here. Watch your breathing. Now for your arms, stretch your fingers. With your inhalation, stretch and lift your arms up to the ceiling. And with your exhalation, bring your arms forwards and down to come to the sides of your body. Watch your breathing. Now for your palms, gently stretch your fingers. For your arms, gently stretch your arms. And now slowly, with your inhalation, slide your arms up to the sides to come to the line of your shoulder line. And I give you a time so that if you're interfering with the wall, or the wall interfering with you, or with your neighbor, that you wiggle up or down on your mat. So your arms are what we could call the letter T stance. They are aligned with your shoulder line. If there's discomfort, have them below the shoulder line. Turn your palms so they're facing up. Notice if your fingers are cold or if you're able to gently straighten your fingers. Watch your breathing. Feel your arms. With your next exhalation, if you can get a bit more stretching into your arms. Feel your legs. Your legs are standing and they can be close together or just a little bit apart. With your exhalation, breathe out deeply and your abdominals might gently hug the spine, supporting a lower back release. When you're breathing in, you can let your knees swing to the left and once more noticing the movement it brings to your feet, in your hip joints, in the pelvis, and your head can roll to the right. When you're breathing out, feel you bring your spine down, and as your abdominals draw in, it helps you to bring the spine back to the floor, the pelvis, and the knees will come back to center. And then with your inhalation, your knees can move to the other side, so you're creating this hip roll, it's called in the Pilates, that rolling of the pelvis, and your head can roll to the other side, opposite to the knees. When you're breathing out, feel you bring down your spine, vertebra by vertebra, lower back, buttocks, that brings the knees up. And this movement is helped with the exhalation to draw you down. When you're breathing in, you might notice how you open the waist, your rib cage. When you're breathing out, you come back to the center. Now, you might have a different way of breathing, so feel free to change your breathing to the way how you know it or you would like to experiment with. So far, you were turning the head away from the knees. You might try out how it is experienced when you turn the head the same direction as the knees. And as such, when you begin to bring some other things in, when you play, when you step out of your movement patterns, you might get new experiences that can enrich your original experience. They can give you more information. We started with the knees going to the left. So when your knees have been going to the right, make this one your last, so that the legs can be back in the center. Watch your breathing. Of your arms, with your exhalation begin to bend your elbows. And then to the rhythm of your exhalation, slowly bring your arms down to the sides of your body. And the palms can be facing up or down. Legs are standing. Now for your right leg. With your next exhalation, begin to slide the right foot closer to you, and then lifting the right heel, the toes, and then you bring your right knee into your chest. Place your both hands on your right knee. With your exhalation, when you bend your arms, you bring your knee gently more towards your chest. When you're breathing in, you're straightening your arms and you're moving your knee away from the chest. Do this again, noticing when you're breathing out as your arms are bent, you can gently draw the knee to your chest. It rolls the pelvis backwards. And breathing in, when you straighten your arms, the leg brings the movement to your pelvis. Do this one more time. And then have your arms straight for your left leg. With your next exhalation, bringing the left foot closer, lifting the heel, toes, and bringing the left leg into your chest. Swap hands to the left knee and place the right foot comfortably on the floor. Straighten your arms so the left knee sits more on top of your hip. That takes the pelvis more towards neutral. Then when you're breathing out and when you're bending your arms, you can feel to bring the knee towards your chest, and as the leg moves, you might notice that pelvic movement. And when you're breathing in, you straighten your arms and the knee moves forwards, and that knock-on effect is happening on your pelvis. Being aware of loosening, holding patterns in the back. Just being aware if there is holding can often help us to release that habitual holding. Making the next one your last. For your right leg, and bring your right knee into your chest. Place the right palm on the right knee, left palm on the left knee. As you straighten your arms, the knees will sit on your hips. And now when you're breathing out, gently bending your arms, bring your knees towards your chest. When you're breathing in, straightening your arms, the knees come forwards. Notice how in this movement you bring a lower back stretch and then you let the pelvis roll back to neutral. Make the next one your last. Feel the right foot, the right arm. With your inhalation, placing the right foot on the floor, relaxing the right arm to the floor. Feel the left foot, the left arm. With your inhalation, place the left foot on the floor, relax the left arm to the floor. Watch your breathing. Now bring your awareness to your head and gently for a moment just rolling the head left and right in case we put some tension here. Rolling it comfortably left and right. And then let that movement come to an end. For your right leg, both legs are standing. With your next exhalation, begin to slide the right foot closer, lift the heel, the toes, and bring the right knee into your chest. For your arms, stretch your arms and lift them and hold the right knee with your hands, either by the sides or from behind, or at times you might want to hold by your trousers. Feel your right leg. Don't interlace your fingers so you're holding it more from the sides or more from behind. When you're breathing out, breathe out to release tensions around the neck, shoulders, upper back. Maintain a feeling for the pelvis being heavy, the mid-back, the head. With your inhalation, You might notice how your arms can straighten and you unfold the leg, lifting the right foot to the ceiling till this movement stops. So with this arm position, we keep the leg sitting in its hip joint. Do not worry if it's not straight. With your exhalation, bending your arms, folding the leg, it comes back to your chest. Repeat. With your inhalation, slowly noticing how the leg moves forwards and up, but you restrict the movement beyond your hips because you're holding the leg. And breathing out, you fold. Do this one more time. When you're breathing in, you lift. And when you're breathing out, you fold. Now you can add the flexion of the foot. So when you're breathing in, at the end of the movement, you could flex the foot as if your heel is leading. And when you're breathing out, release this foot position, bend the leg back. You can do this 2 more times, where you lift the leg up, and towards the end of the movement, you flex the foot. And then you release and fold. And then you do that 1 more time. And then placing the right foot on the floor, relaxing your arms. Feel your breathing. For your left leg, when you're breathing out, slide the left foot closer and then notice how you lift the heel, the toes, and the left leg comes into your chest. Stretch your arms and move them towards the left knee, holding it by the sides or behind. Relax the shoulders. Feel the spine heavy, head on the floor, mid-back and back, pelvis heavy on the floor. When you're breathing out, breathe out gently. Notice how you're releasing tensions that are deeper in your body. With your inhalation, slowly begin to lift the left foot to the ceiling, and your arms can straighten as if you have the intention to bring the left leg perpendicular to the floor. With your exhalation, you're folding it back into your chest. Notice if your standing leg, the right leg, is still not swinging side to side. And always end the movement where the body wants it to end. The next time when you're lifting, you can also flex the foot. And then you're releasing it as you're bending. You can do 2 more like this. Making the next one your last. Allowing the leg to fold into your chest, the foot is soft. For your foot, your arms, with your inhalation, placing the foot on the floor, relaxing your arms back to the floor. Watch your breathing. Now feel both legs. With your next exhalation, lifting your heels, shifting weight into the toes, the front parts of your feet. Feel your knees. With your exhalation, lifting the knees, and therefore the heels lifted, toes come closer. Hover the toes above the floor. Feel your thighs. With your next exhalation, moving your thighs to the stomach, moving your knees to your chest. Feel your arms, and gently stretch your arms, lift them and touch the knees by the sides. And again, that helps you so that your hip flexors do not get too tired. You can hold the knees from the sides, or you can slide the hands a little bit behind into the gap of your knees. That helps your hip flexors not to get tired. Drop your shoulders. Feel your spine. Make sure the spine from the lower tip to the crown feels active. When you're breathing out, you breathe out completely. When you're breathing in, slowly begin to lift your legs to the ceiling as if you want to bring a stretch feeling into your legs. As soon as the body wants to stop the movement, let it stop. And then when you're breathing out, let your legs fold back into your chest. Do this again. Make sure you feel when you're breathing out and when the legs come back that you really use that grounding on the floor. And then from that grounding, it's your legs lifting up. For the next three, you can add that flexion. So when you lift your legs up, at the end you can flex so that you get possibly a bit more of a stretch from the heel into the back of your legs. And then you soften as you're folding. Keep the shoulders soft. Keep the back heavy in the ground. And making the next one your last. Bending the knees into your chest. Feel your hands, place the hands on the knees. With your inhalation, straighten your arms so the knees sit on top of your hips and the feet hover above the floor. Feel your right foot. With your inhalation, place the right foot on the floor. Relax your right arm. With the next inhalation, placing the left foot on the floor, relaxing your left arm. Watch your breathing. Now feel your arms. With your inhalation, stretch and lift your arms to the ceiling. With your exhalation, bending your arms and sliding the hands under the head resting in your palms. Lift your elbows to point to the ceiling and then slide your shoulder blades down. Head and weight of the head can be in your palms. Feel breathing. When you're breathing out, see if you can lengthen the head and then slowly lifting the head, neck, upper back and spine, peeling the spine off the ground. Feel the pause. When you're breathing in, slowly returning the spine, the neck and the head. Do this 2 more times. When you're breathing out, feel to draw the abdomen gently in. It's more this wave-like movement, and then out of that lengthening of your spine, you slowly curl up. Head is supported by your palms. And when you're breathing in, you slowly return. Do this 1 more time. Make a note that both movements are equally important. Now relax your left arm by the side of your body, palm facing down, and we do this movement 3 more times, but when you're breathing out and you're coming up, feel to slowly rotate as if you want to bring your right elbow a bit more across and over towards the direction of the left knee. And then when you're breathing in, you untwist and you go down. Do 2 more. So your left arm is on the floor, right hand behind the head, elbow pointed to the ceiling. And when you're breathing out, you slowly curl up and then feel that gentle rotation with the right elbow more pointing towards the left knee. And then with your inhalation, you curl, uncurl, and you return. Do this 1 more time. Let the head be supported. Make sure there is the fluidity to this movement. And when you have returned, swap your hands. Left hand behind the head, right arm by the side of your body. Left elbow points to the ceiling, shoulder blades slide down. When you're breathing in, slow and deep, you prepare. When you're breathing out, you slowly curl up, and then towards the end have that twist where you feel you want to bring the left elbow across and over towards the right knee, just the direction. And then breathing in, you uncurl and you come back. Do this 2 more times. And it is a fluid movement, so it's not the jerking up and twist. It is you slowly come up, and it's nearly like you're creating a rainbow shape. Turn, and then you untwist and you come back. And you do this 1 more time. And then relax your left arm, relax both arms. Slide one leg away from you, letting it relax. Slide the other leg away from you, letting it relax. Relax your legs, relax your arms. Just feel the body. Feel the movement of breath inside your body. Let your breathing gently grow, and then roll over onto your front. Head is turned to the right, so you will lie on your left cheek. Legs are in parallel. Left arm is to the back, and you bring the right hand, you place the right palm on the floor, and you're resting your left cheek or head on the palm. I'm doing it in case you cannot see that. So we all turn the head to the right. Head is resting on the right hand on the top. Left arm is to the back. Open your eyes. Bring a sense of lengthening into the legs so they are partaking. Feel the lengthening in your spine. When you're breathing out, you breathe out completely. Now when you're breathing in, you lift the head together with that arm and you look to the right. Does not need to be a big movement. And when you're breathing out, you lengthen the spine and you lower. Do this 2 more times. When you're breathing in, you lengthen the spine and you lift the head together with the hand and arm. Doesn't matter how high. And when you're breathing out slowly, you lower. Keep your legs active. So when they are long, it maintains the length in your spine. Do this 1 more time. And when you have returned, turn the head to the left, bring the right arm behind you, slide the left arm up, place the left palm under your head, and place the right cheek on top of your hand. It helps to begin with to open your eyes so that you really know you're just coming up, you're not twisting. When you're breathing out, you breathe out completely. And when you're breathing in, feel to lengthen and lift head together with the hand and arm. And when you look to the left elbow, you will just notice you're coming up a bit. And then when you're breathing out, lengthen and lower. Do this 2 more times. Make that a pleasurable movement. It's, as always, it's not about the height, it's working, moving with your body. When you have done the third, make this one the last. Turn the head to the other side. Relax the left arm to the floor. Relax your legs. Feel breathing. Now roll over onto your back and we relax a moment. You can cover yourself. You can tuck pillows under. If there's any movements you want to do before you come into the resting pose, feel free to do that. Sometimes you want to have a stretch or one more roll. And then when you're ready, you can separate your legs a little bit more, naturally allowing your feet to fall away from each other. You can lengthen into your arms and then move them a little bit away from you. And then by closing your eyes, you're moving your awareness into that space that is in your body. And in that space that is in your body, you can see the phenomena arising of physical sensations. And then slowly, when they've reached their peak, they will dissolve back into the spacious silence that is in your body. And then you might be able to experience the silence that is in the space that is in the body. In the space, in the silence that is in the body, the breath is moving. So if you cannot connect with that silence that is in the space, that is in the body, then you can just stay with that experience of the breath that is flowing in the silence, in the space that is in the body. And that helps the mind to stay calm.